Hi friends, Jen here with Serenity Hill Farmstead. Today we are going to be making two different tinctures. I've got ashwagandha root here, my last little bit of it. And that was astragalus. Astragalus root here, ashwagandha here. I've got quite a bit of this. So we stock up on this one. It's one of the favorites, absolutely. So these two herbs I started talking about in my last video, and if you haven't checked that one out, I've got the link down in the description box for you to go see it. Adaptogens are herbs that help the body be more supported through times of stress. And stress can be good events like getting married, or it can be a bad event like getting divorced, or it can be regular daily events like a good workout, getting a good workout in that puts physical stress on the body. It can be just the excitement of putting on a kid's birthday party or hosting a Thanksgiving. Well, I'll be experiencing that one next week, or at least if you live in the US. So we have got these two herbs that I'm starting now because we're about at the end of it. So I want to make sure that we have enough, we don't run out of it. So the reason I like these two herbs in particular is astragalus. We're going to start with that. Astragalus is an immune modulator. So we've talked about immune modulators before, how an immune boost is going to ramp up your immune system. It's going to boost it, give it an extra little oomph to get over being sick, or to cut the viral load down if you are currently sick, or it is going to be something that could be helpful if you've been exposed to something like that. So immune modulating herbs, different because it doesn't spike your immune system. It doesn't lower your immune system. It keeps everything right on track with where it should be. It's called homeostasis. You want everything to be where it should naturally be. So I'm going to open up my book here, and I utilize this book a lot because the dosages, a lot of the dosages, not all of them, but a lot of the dosages in here is what I like to use. There's a lot of people that use different types of herbalism that just kind of have loose measurements and don't really have as strict a measurement, a ratio to make their herbal medicines, their tinctures. But I like to keep things exact for two reasons. One, I am selling this, so I want it to be very consistent. And two, because with that consistency, I guess maybe it's 1.5 because it's kind of builds off of one. With that consistency, it's easier to tell what is working and what needs to be tweaked. Okay, so making a tincture with astragalus, I've got dried root, so I'm gonna be doing 1 part herb, which is gonna be exactly all of it, actually. Yep, all of it. So we've got 1 part root, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to take us right to the top with vodka. And I've got my 40% alcohol, which is 80 proof vodka. And the reason I do not do Everclear at a ridiculous amount of alcohol is because that percentage of alcohol, that 80% that's in this one, that tells me it is 80% alcohol and 20% water. And that's very important because we want to make sure that we have some water in this. It's already in there. You don't need to add the water. We want to make sure that we have water in here to be able to extract the water-soluble properties of the herb. You totally can do this with the dried herb. It's totally doable. And there's some herbs, honestly, that call for a dried root. In this book, it calls for a dried root. It doesn't actually give any kind of instruction for doing a fresh root tincture. So here we go. We have got our astragalus tincture here. So an interesting thing that I have recently found about astragalus is the studies that are beginning to emerge regarding this herb and the use for patients that are going through cancer treatments, specifically with chemotherapy. Chemo is super toxic, right? I mean, they're pouring it into your body to be able to kill the cancer cells, but chemo cannot differentiate the difference between healthy cells and cancer cells. So it just demolishes everything along the way, and that's what makes it so dangerous. So what the studies that I have been coming across, what I'm reading about this herb, is that it has properties and specific compounds in it that can help protect from toxin buildup from chemotherapy in the liver. And that is super interesting to me, that the way that this herb can protect the body and can prevent damage and can also support the body so that it can better heal itself. So astragalus is a super important one. Now I take this one because I have autoimmune disease. I cannot take immune boosting herbs. If you're new here, then I'm going to explain this again. If you're not new here, you've heard me say this so many times, but if you have autoimmune disease of virtually any kind, you do not ever, ever, ever want to take an immune boosting herb, because in an autoimmune disease, our immune systems are already heightened, right? They're already way up here. They're hyperactive in one way or another. For me, I have ankylosing spondylitis. It is an attack in my SI joints, my sacroiliac joints down at the base of my spine. So my immune system thinks my SI joints are the enemy. And then it starts to spread throughout my spine, and it spreads to my rib cage, and it spreads to organs, and it's a really nasty disease. So the longer my immune system is heightened, the more damage it is doing to me. If I take something like elderberry or echinacea, then I'm going to be causing more damage, especially with elderberry in autoimmune arthritises, like inflammatory arthritis. The elderberry works it boosts the cytokines that are responsible for autoimmune arthritis of varying different types. So you just got to do your research and see if you can use elderberry or echinacea or something like that. I absolutely do not. I stay clear, far, far away, never touch the stuff. So I do take astragalus. So if I am exposed to something, or if I want some help, then I can take astragalus. Now I do take this as a regular anyway, as a daily thing, because you can take it as a tonic herb. You can take it daily to support and modulate your immune system. It is called an immune amphoteric, I believe is how that's pronounced, because what an immune amphoteric, if you see that, that means that it's immune modulating, that it is immune balancing. It brings the immune system back to where it should be. Now, don't get excited. Don't get too excited if you do have autoimmune disease, because that doesn't mean that this is going to be your magic cure. Unfortunately, I don't think there is a single herb that is going to give you that magical, thank you, Lord, I'm healed. But it can definitely help, and it has absolutely helped me in decreasing my symptoms. In fact, I had a flare yesterday morning. I woke up with the worst flare. Worse than I've had in a long time. It was hard to move. I didn't get much sleep the night before, which definitely made it worse. But I increased my dose, not actually the dose, but the frequency that I took it for the day, instead of just taking my once in the morning. I ended up taking this 3 times yesterday. I'm taking it 3 times today, and not this one, the one that I have on the shelf there. And I went and got my acupuncture, because that's a big thing for me. And I got cupping done, and that loosened up my back, and it really helped. It really helped me get over it a lot faster. So normally flares in me would last, it could last weeks. They could last a couple days. They can last weeks. But before I started an immune modulating protocol, I would never have flares that just lasted a day. And they'd be debilitating. I, knock on wood, have not had a debilitating flare in an extremely long time. Now I'm also on pharmaceuticals too. So again, it's finding the balance. It's finding the balance that works for you. So that is astragalus. Magical, wonderful, awesome herb. Love it, love it, love it. We're gonna move on to ashwagandha. Now ashwagandha, oh, right, it's on the other page. Fabulous. Ashwagandha is really good as a tincture as well. This one is also 1 to 5. I am going to do the exact same thing I just did. And make a mess in the process. We're just going to put 1 part ashwagandha. This one is dusty. If you have dusty herbs, definitely put a respirator on, or do that, because you don't want to breathe this in. It is not good to breathe in herbs. As wonderful as they are, goes to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. As wonderful as they are, we do not want to inhale the dust. That is not good at all for your lungs. Again, we're using the same 80 proof vodka. Wait a minute. I am just now realizing that I said that backwards. 40% alcohol means there is 40% alcohol in it. Oh my goodness. And it means that there is 80% water. That's what that means. Oh my goodness. All right, so we got the next bottle here. And this one, I poured a little extra, so this one I'm going to top off. You know, with your herbs, all herbs are gonna float when you first get them in there, but these really dense herbs, they get, you know, kind of waterlogged, and then they end up sinking. So I'm not worried about these floating. They're gonna sink. So I'm not worried about it. Now, ashwagandha, I want to top this all the way up to the top because this one, and you see, you're gonna have very little settle. It's like suspending in here. This herb, when you hear the dog. This herb, when you process it, when you shred it up and get it down to the size that you want, it is a root, obviously. It has much finer pieces. It's stringier than astragalus is. So I always fill this all the way up to the top because it will rise. Okay, so ashwagandha. I have a love for ashwagandha, so much so. Now, again, it is an adaptogen, and with all adaptogens, they're going to help the body reduce stress. And I love this one because of how specifically it works to help you manage stress. Ashwagandha is really, really good for stress, particularly with anxiety. So if you have, let's say, you're having a lot of stress with work and it's causing a lot of anxiety in you, or you're just at a time in life where you've got a situation that you don't know what's gonna come next. You don't know what's gonna happen next, and it could be bad, it could be good, but you know, usually that kind of nervous anxiety and that kind of stress comes from negative situations. And ashwagandha is really, really good supportive herb for that. And how it helps do that, especially working so well on your nervous system, is that it is a nervine as well. It is an adaptogenic herb, it is an anti-inflammatory herb, it is an antidepressant herb, and it is a nervine. So anytime you hear me talk about an herb or you see it anywhere and it says that, oh, this is a great antidepressant, I want to caution you that you need to be very careful before you just dive in. Especially if you have any type of depression that requires a medication, you don't want to just jump right into it. Now, ashwagandha works fabulous in conjunction with medications, but you definitely want to check your medication specifically to make sure that there aren't any contraindications and that you can do that. Always, 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 you need to check your personal information. And I can give you information. I get a lot of time in the comments, people ask specifically about their individual medications and what would work or what they should do. Guys, I'm telling you here, this is what the video is for. You need to research your own specific medications. I am here to give you all the information. I cannot, unfortunately, spend time researching everybody's medications. I can't do that. You're gonna have to do that. And if you want to get a hold of some resources that can help you with that, I do have a video about my favorite herbal books, and there are some great resources in there. So I'll put that video down in the description box too, and you can check that one out. Virtually all of the books that I share in there are very affordable. There's a couple that are more expensive, but you can get them off of a company called Thrift Books. They do take a little bit to get books to you. Sometimes they're out of stock, so you have to go on a wait list and wait for it to come, but it is a great resource, and it's something that I use frequently. You can even use it for textbooks. If you've got college-age kids, that's a great resource too. So 2 more things, I guess one, it's another 1.5 kind of thing that ashwagandha does, is it works really well for men that have low testosterone and sexual dysfunction. Now, sometimes those things are related and sometimes they're not. Low testosterone in men can look very different than just a sexual issue. It can be your blood pressure. Your blood pressure could be going up. You can have erratic heart rates and just things kind of not being like having palpitations and having underlying chest pain, of course, always treat your chest pain like an emergency and go to the emergency room. But if you've been checked out and they're saying, you know, it's probably just stress, it could be low testosterone, so definitely get that level checked. And you could be having sleep issues. You could be having major digestive issues. You could start getting migraines. You could start losing muscle mass and just kind of overall like the tone in your body isn't what it used to be. All of these things are attributed to a decrease in testosterone. So ashwagandha works. Now there's more than one type of testosterone in men. So you definitely need to get your levels checked, and then you can see if ashwagandha is something that could work for you. For sexual dysfunction, it is again working on the testosterone level, and it can help. I've seen a lot of studies about ashwagandha being utilized to help improve and support fertility in men. So this is definitely a great herb for men's health as well as women's health. And of course, probably my favorite use for it is the fact that it is very good for rheumatism. So that inflammatory arthritis, this is a great herb. It helps with, you know, it's got that anti-inflammatory property. If you have pain in your arthritis, it's painful, it hurts. But your pain is most commonly from the inflammation. And the inflammation and the degradation of your joint, and then eventually you have bone pain, and that is a very different kind of pain. But when you have that achiness and the decrease in movement, and you're at that stage, this is very helpful. Virtually any anti-inflammatory herb would be beneficial for you, but this is specifically talking about the use of rheumatism and arthritis. So there are the herbs we made today, the tinctures that we made today. Look at them already changing. Of course, this one's more because I was sitting here doing this with it for so long while I was talking, but these will sit on the shelves for 8 weeks, and I will shake them daily. It'll go over to the apothecary in out of direct sunlight and temperature controlled, sit there for 8 weeks. Of course, I have to label them. We'll label them off camera. And then we will strain them. And then I will have these for sale in our farm store on our website. If you want to check that out, you can check the description box below. Of course, everything is there. And you can see what we do have available. How many tinctures do we have? Oh, here's my list. Okay. I am currently putting together Black Friday deals. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Currently 13 tinctures that are going to be available. We have herb infused oil, we have some bulk herbs, and we have tea blends, and then we have herbal soap also. So we'll have all of those things in the farm store online on the website coming very, very soon. They'll be up next week. We're getting everything finalized this week, so everything will go up next week. And then Black Friday sales start at the end of the week. And then I'm gonna have sales going through the second week of December. And of course, don't forget, we have herbal winter workshops starting in December. So many opportunities to get your hands on good herbal medicines or get the raw tools to do them yourself. Or if you just want to learn the information and take everything that I talk about here a big step forward, then you'll definitely want to head over there and check out the courses and the herbal winter workshops. Those are going to be, I'm super excited for that. This is the first year that we're going to do these, and there's going to be a whole bunch of different topics. They're real cheap, by the way. The workshops are like $10. I want to make everything super affordable, and I'm going to have a Black Friday deal on them too. And then we'll have a private YouTube live so that we can talk and discuss all the information and any questions or troubleshooting that you guys have. That comes with any of the workshop classes that you purchase. So go check those out if you're interested. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys liked it, I would love it if you hit the like button. Tells YouTube that you like it and you want to see more of it. And if you have not yet subscribed, I want to invite you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get notified for all the videos we put out. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.